Greetings, I'm Vedant Shinde, and this is a presentation on research paper titled An End-to-End Trainable Neural Network for Image-Based Sequence Recognition and Its Application to Scene Text Recognition, authored by Baogang Shi, Zhang Bai, and Kong Yao. This is the organization of the presentation. Moving on to the abstract. Image-based sequence recognition is a trending research topic in computer vision. The problem of scene text recognition is one of the most important and challenging tasks in image-based sequence recognition. The problem is to recognize character sequence from cropped images. Proposed architecture proposes some distinctive properties. It is end-to-end trainable, it naturally handles sequences in arbitrary lengths, it generates an effective and much smaller model. So, moving on to a neural network. A neural network is a series of algorithms that recognize underlying relationships in a set of data through a process that mimics the way the human brain operates. It is a powerful technique to solve many real world problems. Applications of neural networks are pattern recognition, mobile computing, marketing, and financial applications, among other applications. So, moving on to a neuron. A neural network consists of neurons. It is a building block of the neural network. The connections of the biological neuron are modeled as weights. The neuron holds a value from 0 to 1. Let's look at a neural network for handwritten digit classification. The network starts with multiple neurons that correspond to the pixels of the input image. In this example, the grayscale image is 28 by 28 pixels, which means there are 784 neurons that correspond to each pixel. Each node value has a value that is proportional to the grayscale value of that particular pixel, which ranges from 0 to 1. It's called a neuron's activation. All of these 784 neurons constitute the first layer of the neural network. The last layer has 10 neurons representing one of the digits. The activation of these neurons, a number between 0 and 1, represents how much the system thinks a given image corresponds with a given digit. There's also a couple of layers in between called the hidden layers. Activation in one layer determines the activation in subsequent layers. When adding a convolutional layer to a model, we also have to specify the number of filters for that layer. A filter is a relatively small matrix initialized with random values and dimensions that we decide. When it receives input, the filter will slide through the entire image, taking in the number of pixels equal to its size at a time. This is called convolve. Multiple convolution filters or kernels run over the image and compute a dot product. Each filter extracts different features from the image. Neural network. A CNN or convolutional neural network is an artificial neural network that is most popularly used for analyzing images. They can also be used for other classification problems. Artificial network that has some type of specialization to detect patterns and make sense of them is what a CNN is. A CNN has hidden layers called convolution layers. A convolution layer receives an input, transforms it in some way, and provides it to the next layer. For CNN, this operation is convolution. With each convolution layer, we need to specify the number of filters the layer should have. These filters are what detects the patterns, that is shapes, edges, corners, etc. The start of the neural network constitutes geometric filters. The subsequent filters are generally more sophisticated. Features and constraints. We know it is good to learn for learning a small model. From this fully connected model, do we really need all the edges? Can some of these be shared? Consider learning an image. Suppose we have to recognize if the image constitutes a bird or not. For that, we put in place a beak detector. Now, a beak can represent a small region with few parameters. And now, as you can see, the beak can be in the upper left corner or in the middle. And for them, we might have different beak detectors, but we can combine them as they can be the same parameter. Problems with feed-forward network are as follows. It needs fixed size input and gives us fixed size output. Not It is not designed for sequences or time series data. It does not model memory. In a feed-forward neural network, the information only moves in one direction, from the input layer through the hidden layer to the output layer. Recurrent neural networks, or RNNs, are types of neural networks designed for capturing information from sequences or time series data. They can take variable size inputs and give us variable size outputs. It is the first algorithm that remembers its input due to an internal memory. It is perfectly suited for machine learning problems that involve sequential data. As you can see, when it makes a decision, when an RNN makes a decision, it takes into consideration the current input and also what it has learned from the inputs it received previously. Let's take an example. Imagine you have a normal feed-forward neural network and give it the word neuron as an input, and it processes the word character by character. At the time at the time it reaches the character R, it has already forgotten about N, E, and U, which makes it almost impossible for this type of neural network to predict what character comes next. A recurrent neural network is able to remember exactly that because of its internal memory. Therefore, a recurrent neural network has two inputs, the present and the recent past. Recurrent neural network, as you can see, uh, the feed-forward neural network maps one input to one output, whereas, as shown in the figure, RNNs can map one to many to many, and many to one. Moving on to backpropagation through time, or BPT, it is basically just doing backpropagation on an unrolled recurrent neural network. It is required to do the conceptualization of unrolling, since the error of a given timestamp depends on the previous timestamp. Within BPTT, the error is backpropagated from the last to the first timestamp while unrolling all the timestamps. It can be computationally expensive when you have a high number of timestamps. Long short-term memory (LSTM) networks are an extension for recurrent neural networks, which basically extend their memory. LSTMs enable RNN to remember their inputs over a long period of time. LSTM contain their information in a memory. It can read, write, or delete information from its memory. This memory can be seen as a gated cell, where gated means that the cells decide whether or not to store or delete the information. LSTM has three gates: input, forget, and output gate. The input gate determines whether new input is present or not. Forget gate deletes the unnecessary information, and the output gate impacts the output at the current timestamp. Introduction. This paper is concerned with a classic problem in computer vision: image-based sequence recognition. In the real world, visual objects such as scene text, handwritings, and musical score tend to occur in the form of sequence, not in isolation. Recognizing such sequence-like objects often requires the system to predict a series of object labels. The most popular deep models like DCNN cannot be directly applied to sequence prediction. DCNN models often operate on inputs and outputs with fixed dimensions, but recurrent neural networks, another important branch of deep neural network family, were mainly designed for handling sequences. The pre-processing step is independent of the subsequent components in the pipeline. So RNN cannot be trained or optimized in an end-to-end fashion. That brings us to the proposed network architecture. The proposed neural network model is named as Convolutional Recurrent Neural Network. CRNN possesses several distinctive advantages over conventional neural network models. It can be directly learned from sequence labels, for instance words, not requiring detailed annotations. It achieves better or highly competitive performance on scene text. It contains much less parameters than a standard DCNN model, consuming less storage space. So as you can see from this image, DCNN is used to extract a sequential feature representation from an input image that is at the bottommost part of the figure. Before being fed into the network, all the images need to be scaled to the same height. Then a sequence of feature vectors is extracted from the feature maps produced by the convolutional layers. This means the ith feature vector is the concatenation of the ith columns of all the maps. A deep bidirectional recurrent neural network is built on top of the convolutional layers as the recurrent layers. LSTM is directional. It only uses past contexts. However, an image-based sequence, contexts from both directions are useful and complementary to each other. Therefore, it follows and combines two LSTMs, one forward and one backward, into a bidirectional LSTM. Transcription is the process of converting the per frame predictions made by RNN into a predicted sequence. Advantages of a recurrent layer. There are The advantages are threefold. First, RNN has a strong capability of capturing contextual information within a sequence. Second, convolutional layer allows us to jointly train the recurrent layers and the convolutional layers in a unified network. And lastly, RNN can operate on sequences of arbitrary lengths traversing from start to end. These are the resources. Thank you.